React Redux Redux-Toolkit. And so, as a promise, that I finished the demo the other day, and I'm gonna show you the entire process of how that I made it. This is really is the experiences for every one of us as a developer, and we should try some different approach. This is for me is beautiful again because as I mentioned, first generation you see so many files and group things together. Typically, when it's set up, doesn't really make too much sense. And, but just to follow the document and get it done. So this is the very second version that introduced the action creators. The file size gets more smaller, so it's only types, actions, reducers. You can have different reducers, can combine reducers at the end of the day. However, structure is still a little bit long, and configuration is also a little bit problem. And now we add to the introduce, we have the toolkit. The toolkit is actually it's a beautiful product from the Redux team. Yeah, that actually they do a very good job. Also, very good job, and as you see from first structure, very simple. And implementation is going to be also very simple as well. Let me just show you how I made it. Again, one more time. So there's going to be only just one line of execution code. That's it. So what it does is it will configuration, come to the configure, setup, everything's to you. And you're really ready to go. Focus on logic programming. This is what I did, and we have two slice, the deco slice. It was actually wrapping everything together, interface, actions, reduces together, build, okay, build slice, combine with the build the page as well, and then the shopping cart. So build under the shopping cart pages as well. Those two pages is gonna they're gonna share the same to stay not same, so they are having their own reducers, but the combined reducers you can from the Redux tools you can see entire Redux uh, reducer it's state as instead of states, right? Okay, let me show you. This is a manually I pushed the information from card holder, sorry, not card holder, it's placeholder website, right? Just randomly pick up something and allow, there's a button triggered event. Trigger the actions is actually instead of a car action. If you click, you will see, you will get it back, right? And also allow you to do deletion. So there's lots of way we can do it, but this is, I think, is by far is the easiest. All right, now let's jump on to the code. Let me show you what's actually happening. How did I make this happen? Won't take much time. I think if you're familiar with structure, literally within an hour. Okay, and sure. So this is again, as I said, as I mentioned, it's just one line of the code. One more time, this is one is code. MPS creator React app, my app, right? Template. That means the TypeScript Redux TypeScript. As soon as you do this, then you will receive. You will have everything is in a package toolkit, right? And Redux and a TypeScript. So just three things together. And then the immediately next, without your doing anything. So this is the team they did it for you, which is the team that means Redux team. And let me find it. This is inside of app. Yeah, it's right here. Inside of app with hooks. So your application instead of use dispatch and use selector. Okay, also app selector as well. App select app uh, dispatch. So previously we need to do this all by ourselves, right? Type of we select the hooks. So this is Redux newly built hooks. Dispatch and select as well. Right? Then jump onto the store. Usually we have to create our store. In the store we need to do the combination, the configuration, right? So here is by default the system did for us. So app dispatches, root state, which is to get to the state, right? The state will be configured. I have a two custom made the slice or reducers, right? That's why we have a two. We can add more. From here, you would the state will be combined. Okay, so yeah, this is default. The count is default. I just leave it there because it's yeah, just leave it there. But you can add as much as you can from here. Okay, and the immediate next is the so here and sorry index, yeah. So this is also by default provider store will be seeded for us. We don't have to do anything, right? And then the app.ts file. So this is literally where I'll come here a little later because this is my program already. Okay, and I go to the features. This is what the team asks us to do. Best practice will be add features, and then you add your two pages right there. Two pages. Okay, builder and my card. This is my two page. Counter. This is default. You can just take a look at the the structure design. So right now I'll just focus on mine. Okay, builder slice and also card slice. Card slice. So this slice is the one as I just pulling the data from from the JSON placeholder, right? Which is right here. There's a pulling the comments. Yeah, I do whatever. So it's just literally just give me some data as well, right? So this is what I did. Okay, and I created asynchronous thunk. This is actually is from the toolkit. Okay, and then so this will be as the responsive data will be returned, right? Okay, and then the next immediate next will be as the create slice, build slice, and bring initial state, which is right here. I have a parts collection. And parts that means is you're building any information down there, right? For me right now is a little comments information, right? So name is the description, so for loading state, right? And I don't need the parts, but just leave it as because this is a TypeScript. That's why you need the default interface right here. Brand name, which is your data structure is locked. Okay, so right here, and then again, the create a builder slice, and you give it a name parts, brand name initial data. So reduce the specifier here. Set parts is really just give it the action payload to the state parts, which is right here, right? And then data clear. Okay, extra reducer, this is a help here to do the staging. For example, why when this execution, right, and then the loading state was set to true, which is the loading states was set to true, which is you can see the routing, right? Maybe let me just show you what does it mean. Right here, and I think I did put when is it loading, default page, or it's, yeah, when is loading. I just say show loading, okay? So then fulfill that means is inject the added the action payload right to the parts array, and then we'll next we'll stop stay loading. The next if it's rejected, right, and then instead of giving back the data, so we'll give it back the error. So this set is literally just the call the API endpoint, return the data, right, and then bind or just inject into the initial state, which is right here, which is the state, due to the state. Okay, and the one thing I wanted to point out, and because it's the Redux team did a good job for us binding the thunk inside of the toolkit, so that's why we can do async array calls, right? We define functions, async function, and then we return things. So let's just literally just asynchronous callback. This is very good. Make sure you don't have a deadlock. Okay, finally, you expose set part with view slices actions, right? And then the default exported. The reducer. As I mentioned, the reducer you can easily find from here, right? I believe. I close this up. Yeah, it's right here, the store, right? This is the reducers. Okay. So this is just literally just pulling the information, and then display. Let's take a look. Okay. Yeah. This part, pulling information and display. Just right here, right? The read Redux state, you will see the parts. We're getting all those parts. Loading state right as full, right? We don't have loading, but this is the thing that's from the API input. Okay, so then we need interactive to another card. Once we have the listed, I give it adding a action, right, which is added item to the cart, right? So the cart, actually, I built another slice right here. This is second slice. I built a cart, right? And I have initial state as item. Really just the car items. So inside of this slide, I manage the car information. Forget about this because this is a using database. Let's focus on here. And I have add car items. Okay, and I move over here. I just try to move it over. Yeah, let's move over here. Go to the store. Over here better. And now you see more better clear. So yeah, yeah, I have a add a car item, and this item is actually exported, from the creator a card reducer actions. I have an add card and I also remove card as well. So let's do focus on add card right now. So this add card will be add the card item will be used. This is right here. This is at a building stage, right? Once the button is being clicked, so we just add to here, add to it, right? And then we just have it as handle add to cart. Okay, we pass the card information right here, right? And then we just do the dispatch. Add a call item. This actually is from the cost slice, as I mentioned. Cost slice action, right? Here is the props, right? Once this is done, this literally, if you go here, you will see what is actually happening is like a state action, state items dot push, and we're just adding the payloads to the push. Usually we don't do that way, right? It's you see the state management usually just the dot state, right, and then just add a pen or just to do the manipulation for it. But this one is yeah, just only happening inside of reducer instead of the previous slice. and then you can using JavaScript push to do it. Okay, once did that, this is the state will be changed, right? The state array will be changed, having a new elements added to it, right? As you can see here, it's built. So you see the item, right? Now I add another one, add another one, right? It will be added, as you can see. So this is a trick. It's fairly easy to do, just add a slice here instead of a before, right? So how much things you need to do to reducer, create action and action, train them to reducer. If people they don't have an idea how this together, so that will be a problem. But anyway, lots of code is down there. So this is super easy to say. Everything is literally together. It's like writing a function, right? I change the states right from here. Okay, and what is next is once this has been built, that means we can add, right? Going to be same thing if I was to remove it. Okay, remove it will be the same thing. So remove it, and I have car slice pages listed right here, right? Because from the car slice pages is literally what I will do is just use app selector, right? And I get to the state, and I get to the car state, right? The car state it's actually right here, car state. You'll see the items in the loading, right? What I'll do is I can do here loading as well. Yeah, loading that I can use the loading, right? And right here, when I say if loading, right? Now I'll do, let's do, let's just do a loading. Yeah, you will see loading. Otherwise, it's fine. But this will work, right? Loading, right? But I'm using this call items, right? Just iterate through if there's items here, just do the mapping, just the printing out, name, description, price, right? Next to it, I will be handling the delete actions. Same thing, we'll bring the items in to the function and then do the dispatch. Right, to remove the car item from stay, which is right here in the front. Just right instead of it. Right, stay action, stay item, splice, which is to index and find and remove. So this is state management, right? A real life scenario probably we were talking about. Hold on a second. Before real life, and then I want to show you, just give you emphasis, right? Delete that means is delete from here, just delete it. And then cart, item delete cart. Yeah, no, I want to delete that. And I want to delete everything. So just delete it. Everything is gone. Add, another add. Delete it. Okay, so this is that. This is a fulfill us also delete, remove card icon from status bar, right? But the real life, as I mentioned, it's not the case like that. We're not going to be manipulating the state, right? Instead, if we're going to do another API calls, you can use Axio, you can use fetch, doesn't really matter. Matter is like using asynchronous async await function to get this done, update the database, and so this is a database, right? This is action card and get all. So from here at the beginning of that, right, you can just calling the endpoint to fetch all the data. So So I just leave it as here. This is a really simple sample, right? I just want to show you how important and how easy, I'm pulling everything together. Really, with a few lines of code, honestly, not big deal, and we don't have to go through all this setup, right? And I get this done. So this is really one setup, one installation, right? And then you can start to work on your logics right away. And this is e-commerce shopping kind of, you can see, right? If you get used to it, you literally can be within an hour, something like that. All right, so this is for me to sharing the story with you, and happy coding. We'll see you next time.